Welcome back to First Take. To the NFL we go. According to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network, Jacksonville Jaguars two-way star Travis Hunter is doing, quote, exceptionally well in recovering from the knee injury he sustained as a rookie. And while Hunter will be limited throughout the spring during OTAs, the Jags do expect the last year's number 2 overall pick to be back fully healthy by training camp. And when he is, Hunter is expected to become a full-time cornerback. Last season, we know that the Jags played Hunter nearly double the amount of snaps on offense than he did on defense. However, Hunter's season was limited to just 7 games as he had to undergo season-ending knee surgery on November 11th. All right, Kevin Clark, where do you lie on this? Mike Tannenbaum here as well. This guy is so talented. We were all hoping he was going to be the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL, but now it appears that the Jags are trying to go all in on defense with him. Is that the right move?
It's 100% the right move. I don't care about, and nor does any Jaguars fan care about Travis Hunter being the Ohtani of the NFL. No, let's work on him being an all-pro, and he's going to be an all-pro at cornerback, not wide receiver. So he played about 65 snaps a game last year. 44 of those on offense, the rest on defense. I would flip that. Have a major in defense, minor in wide receiver. I just think that there's still a role for him in certain packages. But it's just supply and demand. It's a lot easier to find an elite wide receiver than it is an elite cornerback. And I think that there's been arguments, you can scheme a cornerback out, you can go away from, you can't take a wide receiver out of the game. No. If you have an elite cornerback, and by the way, Monteric Buster Brown on the other side for the Jaguars is a really good cornerback. If you've got Travis Hunter playing a good cornerback position, that changes the entire complexion of your defense. On offense last year, there was such a proof of concept with Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence in year 1. The last half of the season, Trevor Lawrence was throwing that deep ball as well as anybody in football. He was using his legs. He took a step. They are fine on the offensive side of the ball. Offensive play caller, head coach, everything is good there. Work on the defense. You lost Devin Lloyd. You have some identity issues. Travis Hunter is that identity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Courtney, I get there for similar reasons and for different reasons. First of all, I agree. Monteric Brown was a good re-signing. They got Jordan Lewis. Travis Hunter has elite footwork, man-to-man ability, change of direction. And the way teams play 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver, even as a nickel, he would be a starter playing over 85% of the snaps. But there's another real fundamental reason here, which is Travis Hunter is a great player, world-class athlete. If there was a question about him coming out, ironically, it was his durability and his size. He's not big by NFL standards to be a receiver, and unfortunately he got hurt. So the trade is what it is. It's a sunk cost. What can we do to maximize his ability? Let's play him at corner and work him in, as Kevin said, for certain packages. I think he could be a good receiver. I don't know if he'll ever be a top elite receiver because his size deficiency could hurt him. So I think this is smart by Jacksonville. And Jacoby Myers has come along well to complement Brian Thomas. If those guys play together for a full season, they could be really good at both receiver and corner, assuming that Travis Hunter stays healthy.
So during that Heisman Trophy year he had at Colorado, 96 catches, 1,258 yards, 15 touchdowns. The catches and the touchdowns led FBS receivers. We're not going to see that much, if at all. It might be on gadget plays here and there, a little bit on offense, but he's going to be focusing on defense. Mike, you said that the trade, you kind of categorized it as a sunk cost at this point. They traded up. They don't have a pick in 2026 in the first round that went to Cleveland to go get Travis Hunter. In retrospect, was that the right move? Or, I mean, the way you're categorizing it makes me seem like there's a little bit of regret here from doing that. Is that accurate?
Well, candidly, right now, the only grade we could give it is a grade of incomplete. But if you look at one of the best-run organizations in all of sports, it's the Rams. And what did Sean McVay do? He walked into Mr. Kroenke's office and said, hey, we gave all this guaranteed money to Jared Goff, and little over 13 months later, he's like, I got a better idea. Let's trade that, and let's go get Matt Stafford. They won a Super Bowl. I think that's what good organizations do. They realize what they have, and if they have to pivot, they pivot. And to me, Travis Hunter could be a really good corner in the NFL. arguably you would say they probably traded up too much to get just a corner. And maybe over the course of 5 years, again, a rookie deal is 4 years plus a club option. Travis Hunter is not going to go anywhere. Maybe you sprinkle in receiving responsibilities a little this year, more in the third year, and so on and so forth. So if I was the GM, you eat it, you own it, and then you say, what's best for us? Make Travis Hunter a corner.
I'm with you, Mike. Obviously, James Gladstone, the GM, comes from the Los Angeles tree. They understand aggression. He said it after the pick that he's uniquely equipped to be able to take these aggressive moves because he was with the Rams. But I also agree that they gave up too much. And I think if they knew they were going to be as good as they were in year one, they would want a first-round pick this year to build on that. Because of how good Trevor Lawrence was, all the moves they made, they lost Devin Lloyd, as I mentioned earlier. But there's a proof of concept here. I would have loved to have a first-round pick to play with this year.
Yeah, 22 interceptions last year as a team for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was right behind where the Chicago Bears were.
Ben Solak, who would be the best pick for the Giants at number 5?
I like Sonny Styles, the linebacker, 6'5", 244,
Yes,
runs a 4.46. Put him next to Tremaine Edmonds, who's also 6'5". We're covering some space now. That's hard to throw against. We've got a great defensive front there with the Giants. They've made a lot of investments there recently. And the secondary also last year, they added Paulson Adebo, Javon Holland. They're very close now to having a really strong defense. Need one more piece. Styles is that last piece.
Mike Tannenbaum, Sonny Styles and that Giants blue and John Harbaugh's defense. Can you see it?
Yeah, Peter, I actually like Ben's idea. Even though they have Tremaine Edwards, you're going to have two of the longer linebackers in the league. Again, Sonny Styles is so rare. I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to have trouble throwing over the top of him. They have some other needs that may be more important, like offensive line, certainly another receiver. But if they want it with Sonny Styles, he will be a great fit in the Giant defense.
Yeah, Kevin Clark. Let's go to the Commanders here. They have the number 7 overall pick after being in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. If all things were to go correctly, who would you take?
Give me Carnell Tate. I talked to Dan Quinn last week at the owners' meetings, and one thing he said to me was the new offense with David Blah, the new offensive coordinator, lots of under center, lots of play action. What does that open up, according to Dan Quinn? The deep shot. Carnell Tate is great at getting separation, at working back towards the ball, at running routes. He would be perfect. Remember, Jaden Daniels might be the best deep ball artist in the history of college football. They want to reignite that in D.C. Carnell Tate, a big part of that.
Ben Solak, what do you think of a Jaden Daniels-Carnell Tate connection?
It's really a Jaden Daniels, Carnell Tate, and Terry McLaurin connection, right? When you look at some of these elite offenses over the last few years, you see guys who have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You want to have the dude and then the dude. So when you add Carnell Tate to Terry McLaurin, you now have what looks a lot more like a deep playoff run offense than it's previously looked there in Washington.
Two-dude offense.
I like that.
Two dudes.
2 Ohio State dudes as well. Mike Tannenbaum, who is the best pick if all things in the board went correctly for the Cowboys at number 12?
A defensive player that had a pulse. They can't go wrong. They've added Jalen Thompson. They've added Rashawn Gary. But gosh, give me, if Ruben Bain falls, if Caleb Downs falls, if Mansour Delane is there, they need a defensive player in the front 7, in the secondary, at corner. This was a team that was last in the league in EPA per play, last in every meaningful category. They need help on defense, even though they're off to a good start this offseason.
Kevin, I'm going to give you the scenarios. You do it all out here. There might be a chance that Bain, Styles, Downs. Or a Mansour Delane is there. What's the best situation for them, for the Cowboys, with what they need?
It's the first 2 guys you named, Bain and Downs. They both dominated in big games, and guess what? I think either of those guys, first of all, you run to the podium, because drafting has never been the problem for the Cowboys. This happens after they draft.
Yeah, they
it becomes the
draft
problem.
very
yes,
well.
Exactly. So the drafting isn't the issue here. The player acquisition has never been a problem. However, if they're able to get one of those guys, they're going to be immediate NFC East contenders, because they don't need much. Their offense has a really high floor. Their defense, Quinn Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in the entire league. The Rashawn Gary acquisition. If you added Downs, if you added Bain, that's immediate impact. I just think they're going to be able to compete in that division, which I think is a little more wide open than it has been the last couple of years. I think that Bain is the pick there, and we know he's played a lot of ball, played into January. He's going to be able to play in big games immediately.
If you are a fan of the Cowboys, what you are praying for is what you're praying for